going on, people? Welcome back to Football Carnage, and we got another rival talk for you guys right here on the channel. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications. But what's going on, guys? What's going on to my guy Edwin? Back again, as always. How you doing, bro?
I could be better, but I'm doing fine, brother. You know,
Could be better. Does that have to do with that Arsenal result?
No, not really. I think it has more so to do with me recovering from sickness, but I'm good though. I'm chilling.
You were sick? What's wrong with you?
I was a little sick. You know.
Why?
The ops tried to get me, but they couldn't get me from. That's what it was, isn't it? So,
bro, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Real men don't get sick.
Big up the chat, though. Big up the chat. Don't listen to what this fraud is saying because, listen, man, he's human.
Look, man. Big up to the chat every single time, right? I see my guy Vinicius is in here. Chris Shaw was here earlier. And big up to Munzie Talks. Says, big up, lads. Yeah, I see you guys talking about the Ballon d'Or things. And we're going to get into that a little bit later, right? We got a lot of stuff to get into, right? We're going to be talking about Ruben Amorim. He has been named as the new Manchester United manager after they sacked Ten Hag. We're going to be talking about how the Ballon d'Or robbed Vinicius of that award. We'll also get into, some of Clasico talk. We'll look at, what Arsenal got going on and Liverpool and just different things. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to cook this guy for at least the next hour. So you guys are in for a real treat here. And big up to my guy, Hubris, as well. Yo, before we get into it, bro, you ever watched the show called Prison Break?
I have.
That show is tough. I'm on season 2. I actually like it a lot. Chat, if you guys got Netflix, check out Prison Break. I mean, the name is kind of, self-descriptive. It's about guys who break out of prison. It's actually pretty good, though. But, yeah, man, I just want to know if you ever watched it. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, bet.
Yeah, I definitely would.
All right, fair enough. But, all right, man, look, let's get into it, bro. We got to talk about Manchester United. They now have a new manager. They sacked Ten Hag, and they go get sporting manager Ruben Amorim to be the next manager that can possibly lead Manchester United back to glory. Now, I want to say, right, on the surface level, this looks like a good signing, right? But I am a bit reserved because I said the same thing about Ten Hag when they first brought him in. You remember Ten Hag, when he was at Ajax, he was an up-and-coming manager, right? Was winning trophies with them. I remember when they beat Real Madrid 4-1 at the Bernabeu. People were sucking this guy off. And then obviously we see how things have played out. So while I do like the appointment, I'm not going to just say it's a good one as of yet because Ruben Amorim, he is a pretty unknown manager, right, in the grand scheme of things. And he still does have a lot to prove. And I will say, I do believe Manchester United will improve. I mean, you can't get much worse than how they were playing football at the moment. And looking at his CV, it is impressive, right? The guy won a league with Sporting. He's basically like, for those of you who don't know how football works in Portugal, right? You got Porto and Benfica. Those are the two big teams. Before Ruben Amorim came to Sporting, those two teams won the last 20 Portuguese league titles until he broke that up. So it is impressive, right? We see the football that he plays with the back three. We see how he has Victor Gyökeres cooking at the moment. So this is a manager that he does have a style of play. He does have a good CV. And I think it is time for a manager like him to get that big move. Now, Manchester United, it's a huge club. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him. But as things stand right now, I think it's a pretty good hire, right? But I want to know what you think, bro.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the chat right now, and people are saying this is going to be a bad hire. For me, I'm at the same surface as you are. Yeah, this is coming by here by Van Lee, and also further down. But anyways, listen, I'm not going to judge the move until I see something shake, pause. But
what do you mean by that? Wait, what? Like, what do you mean by that, bro? Something shake. What you mean? Wait a minute, bro. What you need to see shake before you judge this move?
So,
pause.
I have to throw that in there, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, but no, on a serious note, like he had Sporting Lisbon firing. I mean, like 30 goals in the league, only like 3 goals conceded. That is, to me, phenomenal. Like, you play who's in front of you, and if you're doing that well, then I think you deserve to have a shout, honestly. So with this move coming, I do think that United will definitely be improved upon in the offensive attacking part of their game. You saw how woeful they were the past couple of games. The entire like tenure of Ten Hag, they were pretty much woeful in front of goal for me. The players lost spirit, lost locker room, and they just weren't playing any type of like tactics. But as you mentioned before, you can see some type of tactical prowess that he has, or he had with Sporting before he left there. So like, I see it working out. Also, by the way, not many people are talking about this though. Victor Gyökeres, kind of a similar profile to Joshua Zirkzee in a way. Strong, you know what I'm saying? Can like link up play pretty good. Is an okay finisher. He has something to work with there when he goes to the United. So I like it. I like the move for them, honestly. And I hate that coming from an Arsenal fan who hates United, but I can see this move definitely working out for them for sure. I'm not sure exactly how long it'll take for him to figure out his starting lineup and figure out the tactical things of what he wants to do. People are saying he's going to play a back three. I don't know just yet, because if you are a good manager, you don't just go with your hard, stubborn tactics of what you had at Sporting. You play tailoring to what you have at your club right now. So like, it shouldn't just be automatically a back three. But at the same time, I want to see exactly how he handles the pressure of being a United manager, being a Premier League manager, because this club has big expectations and they are trying to compete at the highest level. And now this is not Sporting anymore. This is not Benfica or Porto competing against those two teams. Now you're competing against multiple teams who are vying for a title challenge, quote unquote, and tougher competition, because we all know that the league itself is way harder than it is in the Portuguese league. So like, listen, man, I want to see how he develops in that aspect. But for right now and where they want to go, to me, it's a good move.
Yeah. So I want to go back to what you said about maybe you just don't start off in a back three. Why not? Like, if you're Ruben Amorim, right? You see how awful Manchester United have been so far. I think you immediately implement the tactics that you want this team to play. I think they do have the center backs to implement that, right? You could go with a back three of Lenny Yoro when he gets back from injury, with Lisandro Martinez and De Ligt. And then in the midfield, right, you could have Kobe Mainu, right? Maybe you could pair him next to Ugarte or Casemiro, right? This manager has already had Ugarte because Ugarte was at Sporting before getting that move to PSG. So he's familiar with him, right? So then on the wing backs, you could do Mazraoui and Delo. And then the two attacking midfielders, maybe you do Bruno with a Rashford. And then up front, maybe a Zirkzee or a Rasmus Højlund. I think you immediately go into Manchester United and implement your style of play, because that team does not have one. So I think to go and start working on something that you don't really want to do in the long term, it makes no sense. But the question that I got for you, bro, and for the chat as well, I mean, like, what are the expectations for Manchester United now that Ruben Amorim is there? Because they're sitting, what, like 14th, 15th at the moment? Like, they're way down in the table.
Yeah.
But mathematically, right, it's not like they're out of the top six conversation. If they go on a good run, they can definitely work their way up the table. And they're going to probably get that new manager bounce anyways. But, I mean, like, what are your expectations for Manchester United in terms of league finish and trophies? Because we all get on Ten Hag, but to be fair, the guy did win a trophy in each of his seasons there. So, I mean, what's your expectations for them?
So I expect them to not win a trophy this year, even with the new manager. That's what I'm saying here first, right? I think as far as the league standings, it is a bit early still, right? They have a lot of time to try and climb up the rankings there, but they're 14th. It's a lot of ground to cover. I don't really see any like meltdown from what we saw from Tottenham last year. Like, I don't see that happening with these other teams coming into this season, honestly, in my opinion. So like, I think honestly that I could see United finishing around the 8th mark. Like, I could see him climbing up there. And I'm only saying that because I see the road being bumpy. I see him trying to implement his style. I see him trying to figure out what's his best 11. I see all those things, but at the same time, they may not lead to wins. You know, so like, if they don't lead to wins, at least United fans will be happy with seeing some type of progress and seeing some type of like advanced play that they weren't seeing before. But at the same time, though, I don't really see them finishing like top 4, top 6. That to me wouldn't be the expectation. The bigger thing, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think the expectation could be top 8, right? Maybe you look to get into the Champions League by winning the Europa League, right? I think United, they do have one of the better teams in that competition. And I think, he should be taking the domestic trophy serious as well, while also trying to maintain a pretty decent standing. I don't really think he's going to have that much pressure on him, right? He's coming in, October? Maybe he's not going to manage the first game until the month's almost done. So he's not going to manage Manchester United until November, right? So I feel like this does kind of put a little asterisk in on this right here. But I kind of have to go at Ineos a bit and just say, why not do this over the summer, right? Like, why did you keep Ten Hag? You should have sacked him after that FA Cup. And then you could have brought in a Ruben Amorim during the summer. You could have made some signings that would have benefited what he wants to do. And then maybe you're in a much better situation than you are right now. Another thing as well, why'd you wait a few more weeks to keep Ten Hag? You should have sacked him during the last international break. But look, they've made their first appointment, and I think, they're going to be desperate for this guy to succeed because, you know what I'm saying, that first managerial signing with you being the owner is super serious. And the one thing for me is, yes, he does have a style of play, right? And even though I think on paper this does look like a good signing, I just wonder how much time is he going to get, because this United squad is shit, bro. I'm going to be so real with you.
Yeah.
I do not like this squad at all.
I see a comment in the chat that's saying that this squad is comfortably a top 4 squad. It is not nowhere near that.
Put it up, bro.
It is not nowhere there. Yeah, big up my guy Z, but this squad is good enough. Like, this is not a good squad. It's not a good squad. Like, let's calm down those narratives now. A top 4 no, it's not a top 4 squad either. Nowhere near.
Yeah, for me, I think United, based off their squad in terms of just talent alone, I think United squad is probably ranked
7th.
Around like 7th or 8th. Like,
7th.
For me, they got to clear out so much deadwood.
Yeah.
But before I can actually rate them, I think there's only maybe 7 players at United that I think are decent. Maybe like 6, 7. I'd say Manu, Yoro, Amad Diallo, Xerxes, Delo, that's 5. Casemiro, no, come on, he's shot. Maybe Mazraoui. Nah, bro, look, Casemiro's not shot. I just think that Casemiro was Ten Hag out. I think that you're going to see him look a lot better underneath this manager that's going to be playing a better style of football. There was no system at Manchester United. They were trying to use Casemiro as a lone 6, right? Behind a Bruno and a Mason Mount, or a Bruno and then they would pair Casemiro next to Eriksen. I mean, like, what are you expecting him to do? He has no cover next to him. Do you know how hard it is to be a lone 6? There's not many players that can do that. And Casemiro, yes, he is past his best. You're not going to get the Madrid version of Casemiro at Manchester United. But he is still a very good player for them, bro. He is. But, yeah, there's only about 6 or 7 players at Man United that I rate, that I think you should be building around, right? Bruno Fernandes is whack. Let me see. Oh, I also do kind of rate Lisandro Martinez, but he's about 5'9", so I kind of have my reservations on the short center backs, to be fair, but it's all good. All good. Yeah, but when I'm looking at the players that are in that starting 11 or that get a lot of game time, like, Onana is decent, right? He definitely has fallen off since he's joined Manchester United from Inter, right? I think, his start to life at Manchester United was awful, but I think that he's actually been on some good form since, he kind of got his feet wet a little bit. So he's decent. But, I mean, look, Bruno Fernandes is shit. I don't care what GA tells me. I have eyes. Marcus Rashford's not the guy. Rasmus Højlund's not that good. Luke Shaw can't stay fit. Harry Maguire's a bum. Who else is there, right? You're still employing Victor Lindelof, right? Tyrell Malacia has gone missing since you signed him. Megan Rapinoe is still your winger, right? You still got Anthony. You still got, who else? Like, it's just not a good squad. That's all that I'm saying, bro. So I just wonder, how patient are the fans going to be with him? Because United are a huge club. And I think maybe the expectations might be that this guy might come in and work magic. But I think they're going to have to be very patient.
Yeah, the fans, to me, honestly, they can't expect any type of rapid results. Like, if you want this to work out, and we've seen in the past, Solskjaer, Ten Hag didn't work out. Fans had massive expectations, and it didn't like amount to what they wanted, right? You have to be patient with this one. You have to be. Even if he has a bad run of results, if you can see a style of play, I say stick with the manager, because you will never get back to being that top team that you were before, competing for trophies and competing for the league and competing for Champions League, until you build some type of foundation. And right now, there's a lot of dead wood. There's a lot of players who don't belong at the club right now. And also, the culture is not there. You see, like, the biggest thing between United and, let's say, for example, where Chelsea are right now, or getting to, and where Arsenal is right now, is the culture between the fans and the players is there right now. You can see that. So there's a big gap. And until you have that solved, there's no way this team is getting to where it was before. So you have to build that foundation. And once they do that, then you can start to see, okay, there might be a dark horse for this upcoming season. But until then, this team has to be patient. The players and the fans have to be patient moving into this new era of managerial change.
Yeah, so again, I think United, I think they come around 8th, 7th.
I'll say 8th for me.
8th. And then I think they could go deep in the FA Cup, right? I mean, as shit as this team is, they've proven that they can win these domestic trophies, like just not the league, obviously, but they can definitely win a Carabao Cup. They can win an FA Cup, depending on how serious Amorim wants to take it. But I think the expectation for me, you got to go for the Europa League. Like, that's the one right there.
Well, the 21st right now.
Well, yeah, but that's with Ten Hag being their manager. And I still think even with Ten Hag when he was there, my expectations was that United should be winning that Europa League. They have arguably the best squad there. I mean, look at the teams that they've played, right? They've dropped points to FC 20, right?
Best squad there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not. And then the thing is, now the Champions League, right? You remember how before the team that came in like 3rd place would drop down to Europa. That's no longer a thing anymore. So the Europa League is a little bit easier to win, because you don't have to worry about the teams that don't make it past the group stage in the Champions League now dropping out and coming into the Europa. So, yeah, the expectations always for Manchester United, even with that shit manager, was to win the Europa League, get back into Champions League that way. But, yeah, decent signing, though. I think United will improve. Let me see. So let's get into your chats, and big up to the damn chat every single time, right? Make sure you guys smash that like button if you haven't done so. And get in the chat, right? We got a few other topics that we're going to get into. But just talking about Ruben Amorim, the new Manchester United manager. So Van Lee says the game against Chelsea is the perfect game for Amorim. They get pumped, they will blame Ten Hag, and if they win, they will praise him. I don't think Ruben will be their manager for that match. I can't see that. It's too soon. Too soon. Like, if you're Ruben, there's no way that I take or that I'd want to manage that game, right? You're not going to even have a full week of training before that match comes up. So I think Ruud van Nistelrooy will be the manager. But I mean, like that's actually I'm going to ask you a question. And big up to my guy Van Lee. As I said, big up to everybody that's in the chat. So let me ask you, with Ten Hag no longer being here, how do you think this affects that Chelsea game? Because do United now have a managerial bounce? I mean, I predicted Chelsea to win that game. You already know that I rate Chelsea very highly. But now that Ten Hag isn't there, new managerial bounce, game at Old Trafford, the crowd's going to probably be even crazier than what it might have been for this kind of game. Do you think United beat Chelsea? Because Chelsea usually don't do that well at Old Trafford.
I don't think they beat Chelsea, but I think that the game is much more like even now than it was before. I think that Chelsea should be going there kind of a bit worried, because they were planning for a Ten Hag. And mind you, this team, the players were down in the mud. All right, the morale was down, the locker room was lost. So it would have been fitting for Chelsea to go there with Ten Hag still in charge. But now that he's not there, the players are trying to prove a point, right? And they're trying to find ways to like get some playing time and show the manager why they belong there. So yeah, I could see the crowd being up for it because they're happy, they're enjoying their post Ten Hag era, and also I could see the players trying their best to be a long-term starter for the club moving forward. So even if he's not there, I think he possibly can be there. You never know, honestly. But even if he's not there, I still see like a game where it's back and forth, very much open. And if the crowd, if we see United concede a goal, it won't be like a head drop this time. It'll be like, oh, well done, boys. Like, get it back next time type of vibe. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So then give me that score prediction. I'm still going Chelsea 3-1. I think before Ten Hag was sacked, look, Chelsea usually do not do well at Old Trafford. But I think with Ten Hag in charge, I was saying 3-0. I think their managerial bounce will make it 3-1. There we go.
Wow. I'm going to say
Chelsea are just so clear of Manchester United in terms of talent, so that's why.
I'm going to say 2-2. Well, those kind of games, like form goes out the window, so I don't really care about the talent.
No, fair enough. So my guy Adam says 0 preseason, not his squad, bad circumstances. I think expectations come next season.
I can agree with that for sure. I still think that with how he can coach up the team, they can still have a chance to still finish top 8. But yeah, he's right. He should have a full season and next season to like see and judge on what he could do with the squad moving forward.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's see what else. So Stanley says, imagine what would have happened to United if Ten Hag was still there. Yeah, I think they'd be looking at the schedule for the championship after relegation. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yeah, Ten Hag was just doing a madness. And, again, he won 2 trophies in 2 years. So I think, at least he did that, right? At least he added some silverware. But I kind of did disagree with Adam in terms of, I don't think there should be high expectations, but there is some expectations. Like I said, like I expect Manchester United to win that Europa League. But I don't expect them to like win the league or come top 4. But yeah, I think Europa League, there's definitely expectations there, tournament-based style of football as well. Vinicius is saying Anthony resurgence. What you saying about that, bro?
No, I don't know. It's a wild card for any player that's on the squad right now because he could turn these players into better and much more performing athletes. You never know. But I'm not sure. I know that he's going to have an impact on one player at least. I'm not sure which one is going to be, though. But it could be Anthony, though. My bank is going to be on Xerxes.
Well, you know what I want to know and what I'm really willing to see is what is he going to – because he runs that back 3, right? So what? I think people are saying that he's in a 3-4-2-1, right? Like that's what he likes to play. I wonder now what happens to like an Amad Diallo, right? Who didn't really get that much play time underneath Ten Hag. How are you going to use Rashford, right? Like, do you make him a wing back? Or like, that's what I want to know is what happens to the wingers? Because when you run a back 3, technically you do not need wingers. You need wing backs. Right. So, for example, like the guy at Wolves, right? Like Ryan Nori, right? Like he's a wing back or like a Jeremy Frimpong, right? Because at Bayer Leverkusen, Xabi Alonso runs a back 3. You know what I'm saying? So like that kind of isolates wingers in terms of you don't really have a place in a back 3 with a 3-4-2-1 unless the manager's going to do a 3-4-3. But everybody's saying that he does a 3-4-2-1, which is what Leverkusen runs. So, yeah, I feel like that's going to be a little bit tricky. Like, what happens that way? But, yeah, man.
If he does that, if he does find a way to utilize wingers, he has to trust them to work back and track back. They have to, like, have a defensive mindset as well, too, other than just going forward. That'll be their thing because they'll still have the freedom to roam in the front. But, as far as, like, helping out on defense, that's what he has to instill in the players.
Yeah, not fair enough. Z also says Chelsea haven't won at Old Trafford in 11 years.
Yeah, they won't win. They still won't win.
So you're using that though draw?
Yeah, 2-2.
Okay. Yo, big up to my guy, the Bayern View. What's up, Liam? Big up, broski.
Big up.
Yeah, man. Look, big up to the Bayern View chat. Make sure you guys give him a subscribe if you guys like Bayern Munich content. You guys let me down last week, bro. You guys let me down. It's all good though, right? We will be talking about El Clasico a little later. It doesn't matter. Ten Hag, we slapped by Chelsea, win 4-0. Yeah, I think you're kind of thinking like me, bro. All right, guys. Look,
Problem.
So get your comments in about Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. I know a lot of people, don't want him to succeed. I kind of don't either. But I do want to say before we move on, a thank you to Ten Hag for the memories that he provided us, because what we saw from Manchester United YouTube,
the best part of my life,
every single match week was phenomenal, and you will truly be missed, my friend.
I agree.
When I woke up the other day and saw that Ten Hag got sacked, well, yesterday, brother, I fell down to my knee. I said, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, I almost cried, brother. I almost cried.
I couldn't believe it.
I almost cried.
Bro, look, before we move on, don't forget, chat, that because of Ten Hag, we got one of the most legendary moments of this football season. I'll play it right here, and then we'll move on.
If I'm being honest with you today, I need an invite to the studio. Yeah, come on, man, bro. Come on, bro, man. You know what I mean? Is it biryani nice? It looks nice, doesn't it? Biryani.
I mean, this one is a little bit spicy.
Yeah.
Because I know you don't
talk about spice. Listen, why you eating? Why you eating, bro? What the fuck you eating? We're fucking getting beat, man. Fucking eating while we're getting beat, bro. You're not serious, bro. We're getting beat and you're relaxing. Man's eating a biryani when we're getting beat.
Nah, that shit is funny as hell, bro. But, yo, look, let's move on, though, man. Let's move on. Ten Hag, you will be missed. Thank you for your service, my brother. All right. So, we got to talk about the Ballon d'Or, right? Now, we saw yesterday what happened in France. An absolute robbery, okay? Rodri won the Ballon d'Or over Vinicius. We did a watch-along for the ceremony right here on the channel. It was pretty fun, to be honest. I never did a Ballon d'Or watch-along, and, it was pretty lit. But regardless, how it ended was a disgrace. We all know that Vinicius should have won that award. But regardless, Rodri is the first Premier League Ballon d'Or winner since 2008. Edwin, do you know who won that award?
Iniesta?
No. In the Premier League?
Oh, you said Premier League. Oh, sorry.
No, Iniesta never won it. But no, CR7. CR7 for Manchester United was the last player that was in the Premier League to win this award. So, pretty big accomplishment for the league. Regardless, what do you think about Rodri winning that award? Like, was this a robbery, or do you actually think that Rodri deserved it?
I think he deserved it, but I wasn't expecting it because I felt like it had nothing to do with Vini, but I felt like because he wasn't even voted for the best player on his team in the Premier League, I thought that would be a massive shift as to how the voters and the journalists would have their viewpoints on him winning the Ballon d'Or. So when he won, I was like, oh, shoot. Okay, that's kind of different. You know what I'm saying? But I could see why he won it, though. Like, come on. Let's keep it a buck. Rodri on his team, Spain, City, have been phenomenal. You can see the massive shift when he's not there. You can see that people are saying, even though City are the title favorites right now, you can still see people saying, oh, man, they look completely different without Rodri because he's not in the midfield. And he's like one of the more unsung footballers in the world right now. The best DM, the best CM, the best CAM, all in one. It's crazy. He's an intelligent footballer, and I think that can't really be replaced. And I get the whole people like the goals and the step overs and the skills by Vini. I get all that. Like, it makes sense, right? But at the same time, what contributes to winning? Like, how important are you for your team? I think that if Vini wasn't there for Real Madrid, they still would be fine. And I think that it'd be a drop off for sure, but they still would be fine. There still is, like, they're still okay. City, they're all right now. But at the same time, there's a massive difference. You can see that. And there's also a massive difference whenever he doesn't play for Spain either.
Wait, so I just want to make sure that I'm hearing you correctly.
You are hearing me correctly, yeah.
Rodri, you're saying, deserved the Ballon d'Or.
I wouldn't say he deserved it.
All right, so then what are you saying right now?
I would have personally gave it to Vini still.
So then why does it sound like you're giving me reasons
because, like,
why Rodri deserved to win it?
Crazy. It's not crazy for him to win it, though. That's what I'm saying. It's not crazy at all. I can see why he won it because he's that valuable. And when you pair the two, who's more valuable for their team? I would say Rodri.
Brother.
I would say
no.
Rodri. Yeah.
No. Rodri is not more important for Man City than what Vinicius is for Real Madrid. Let me tell you something right now, bro.
Yes.
Vinicius is the biggest game player in the world. Last season, Champions League knockout rounds, about 7 GA, 2 assists against Man City, right? This guy is scoring against RB Leipzig. Like, what are we at? Bro, he cooked Bayern Munich in that first leg. Champions League final, scores the winning goal. What are you talking about? Bro, Vinicius, this is his team. He is the franchise guy at Real Madrid. Now, if you want to talk about this season, okay, well, Vini wasn't there. Then if you play Mbappe on the left, okay. If you want, but we're talking about last season. And mind you, he did this out of position. Out of position, Vinicius did this. Last season, we ran the diamond formation.
Whoa, please stop right there. Before you continue, he's a great player. He plays wherever he does on the front line. We can't use that argument for him specifically because
I can't use what argument?
That he played out of position. We can't.
Brother, we ran the diamond. He was up top in the front two with him and Rodrigo, 2 wingers playing as 2 strikers.
I understand that, right? But
what are you talking about?
If he is the best winger, which he is in the world, we shouldn't care about where he plays out of position in the front line.
Well, no, what I'm saying is it shows his versatility, right? Because he could have easily had a bad season because he was playing in an unfamiliar position in a new system, right? Let's also talk about, as I said, we won the Champions League last season. We won La Liga. We won the Spanish Super Cup. Mind you, in that Spanish Super Cup, he scored a hat trick against Barcelona. Like, what are we talking about?
How many did he score this past weekend?
Okay, we'll get on to that. Because now you're trying to just sift the goalposts, bro. What I'm saying is, yes, there is an argument for Rodri, right? I'm not saying that Rodri winning this award is crazy, okay? It's not like Bukayo Saka won it, right? Like, that would have been crazy. Rodri does have an argument. But what I'm saying is, over the last 14 months of football, Vinicius was the best player on the best team. So how does he not get the award? And if anything, if you don't want to give it to Vinicius, then you could have gave it to Dani Carvajal. Because Dani Carvajal, the best right back in the world, he won Champions League, La Liga, Spanish Super Cup, and guess what? He also won the Euros. And he scored in the Champions League final. Come on now. Jude Bellingham had a better...
Are you also about to name all Real Madrid players?
Jude Bellingham also had a better season than Rodri.
What?
Bro, let's not do this. Jude Bellingham had arguably the greatest debut season that we've probably ever seen. Like, what are we talking about here?
What are we comparing that to?
The impact that he put on Real Madrid, bro. Karim Benzema fucks off to Saudi.
That's because you guys have a striker?
We bring in Jude Bellingham as an 8. Carlo decides to use him at the top of the diamond. And this guy's bagging goals for fun, right? This guy was La Liga Player of the Year as well in his debut season.
I mean,
what are we talking about here?
He did a great job, but like he'll have those chances because he's at the top. He'll have more chances.
The year for Rodri to win the Ballon d'Or, for any Man City player to win the Ballon d'Or would have been last season. But no, they gave it to an MLS player because they suck off Messi. Let's just be real. When Man City did the treble, that's when they should have been crying about, oh, no Ballon d'Or. So
I agree with that. But you also just named Dani Carvajal. Like, if we're going to talk about unsung players and footballers, you can't name him with Rodri. Like, it just wouldn't work out.
What are you talking about, bro? Dani Carvajal is the best right back in world football.
Unsung.
No weakness in Dani Carvajal's game. Well, he's injured now, but before the injury,
no weakness in Rodri's game either. So what's your point?
No, okay, I didn't say that there was, but what I'm saying is, Dani Carvajal had a better season for his club, and he won all the trophies that Rodri did. And then I also do want to counteract the point that you made. You brought up that Spain are not as good when Rodri's not there. Well, how come in the Euro final, when Rodri was there in the first half, England looked like they could win the game? It was 0-0. Everybody thought Spain would dominate. Spain were struggling against England. Rodri gets injured at halftime. They bring on Zubamendi. They cook England in the second half without Rodri to win that Euros. What are we talking about here?
Brother, First of all, in regards to that final, it's a final. Like, of course, two teams going at it, anything can happen. That's one.
Okay, but you just told me
So
that
you're
Spain
bringing
lost
up
is good.
one part of the whole entire Euros and forgetting and neglecting the other part where Rodri was phenomenal. The entire Euros, and he goes off injured one time in the final. And you want to make that argument against me? Come on, that's crazy. Like, you can't do that. You just can't.
In the biggest game of the tournament, the final, Spain looked better with. Now, I'm not saying
that's
Spain,
your opinion.
but I'm not saying that's. What do you mean, bro? Did you watch the game?
I did.
Okay. In the first half, Spain were shit. England were locking them up. Second half, no Rodri. Spain looked a lot better, and they score and win the game. What are you talking about? It's not an opinion. It's what factually happened on the pitch.
Yeah, but like England locking them up, is that because Rodri is doing what?
No. Look, bro. I'm not here to give you a tactical breakdown.
I'm just saying,
we're being very simple there. Rodri on the pitch in the Euro final, Spain no play good. Rodri get injured, taken off. Second half, Spain play good. I'm not here to give you tactical breakdown.
What about the other games?
Very simple. And then if Rodri wins the Ballon d'Or, okay, fine. How come this guy wasn't even nominated for Premier League Player of the Year?
That's why I said it was a bit surprising for sure. I get that.
Nobody had Rodri in Ballon d'Or conversations until the Euros. Everybody talks about Vinicius, how he doesn't play well for Brazil. And I think that is a fair argument, right? People act like I just ignore that part. But I do not believe that a 7-game tournament overrides what a player did for 40-plus games with their club. Club football is your bread and butter. That's what you are doing.
Yeah,
majority of the
game. Whenever he played, he didn't lose.
Well, that's bullshit, because if Rodri didn't lose, then how come I missed their Champions League celebration last season?
Well,
did they win that?
No. We're talking about.
Did they win that? Because everybody acts like Rodri's unbeaten run just. I'm like, they look now. They say, oh well, he didn't lose in 90 minutes. He lost on penalty, so it doesn't count. You still lost. You still lost.
I mean, listen, you didn't lose. Fair enough. If you want to do that argument, fair enough. He still lost. I get it. In the league, whenever he played, they didn't lose. It's
well, look. Rodri's injured. City are still going to win the Prem, in my opinion.
I mean, they're still the favorites right now for sure, but it's open for me. It's really open.
Well, I mean, it's not open because Arsenal are in the race, but we'll talk about that in a little bit, though. Look, point is, bro, I think it's actually crazy that that Vinicius did not win it. Now, what I want to ask you, and I want to ask the chat as well, what do you guys think about Real Madrid protesting the ceremony and nobody from the club showing up? Because I know there's a lot of different opinions on that. I actually think, Florentino Perez canceling everybody going and the club being in unison to back Vinicius, I think that's G shit right there. I'm going to be real. Like, that just shows you how big Real Madrid are. We don't need to be at the award ceremony. You feel me? 3 of the 4 finalists play for Real Madrid. And that's a bad look on the ceremony to not have those big name players there, right? We're good. We don't need it. If we feel disrespected, we don't got to show up. So I see everybody crying and saying that Real Madrid are babies and they're not good. Sports, shut up. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. They need us to come. We don't need to be there. Now, what I will say, is from watching the ceremony, right? Real Madrid did win a few awards. We won best club of last season. Carlo Ancelotti also won manager of the best manager award. Mbappe won the Gerd Muller award with Harry Kane for top goal scorer in Europe last season. So what I will say is that it would have been nice to have a representative there, because usually when somebody wins, they come up and give a speech and they talk. But because nobody was there for Real Madrid, whenever we won an award, it kind of just got like glossed over, because it's like, all right, we got to move on. Nobody's here to talk for them. So with that, I would say I do wish that, maybe somebody was there. But in general, though, I don't mind it, bro. Everybody can keep crying. Everybody wants to talk shit about how we've acted, right? They're mad that the players, and I think it's players outside of Real Madrid, are showing Vinicius support and saying that it's kind of crazy that he didn't win it. right? You've seen it, right, bro? So it's not a ludicrous thing.
It's their opinion.
But I'm seeing people cry, basically, about the club not showing up. And
yeah,
look,
cry
bro,
more.
Nothing is going to change, right? We're still the best club as of right now. We're still going to be able to sign big players. People are still going to want to play for us. What does this change? Nothing. That's how you do a boss move. Florentino Perez is the greatest president in football history. But go ahead, man. What do you think about that? And I want to know what the chat thinks as well, and then we'll move on.
It's a mockery of the entire ceremony. Like, bro, who cares? Bring a representative, please, at this point. Like, you guys work so hard just to have nobody come in and receive the award on behalf of Real Madrid FC Football Club. Like, I can't believe it. That to me was a bit disrespectful. But listen, man, I don't really care. If I'm being honest with you, I don't really care. It's not my club that's doing that. You know, if you guys feel like you're big and that you're above everyone else, that you could just not show up to a great ceremony such as the Ballon d'Or, then sure, do what you want to do. I would have my players / representatives there to receive the club's awards on our behalf. That's just me, though.
Yeah, but like, what's the point in showing up if you know that you're not going to win? Like, people talk about good sportsmanship. Bro, show me a good loser. Show me a good loser.
You know you're not going to win?
Yeah.
You think Vini knew that he wasn't going to win the Ballon d'Or?
Brother, why else would he just not be there? Why else did the club cancel? Because we found out in the morning that he wasn't going to win it. Like, that was the big news that broke. Why do you think when I did my watch along for the ceremony and the title, I had Vinicius robbed with the question mark? Like, because we already knew this.
I mean, show some sportsmanship at least.
I guess. All right, look, let's see what the chat's saying. So, big up to my guy 2K. By the way, that is a fire profile picture, bro. But he says, ask Edwin if by any chance last season he watched Rodri and thought, damn, this guy is the best player in the world when the season was ending before the Euros.
No, I didn't think that, but I did think that, damn, we can't beat City unless Rodri's not there. That's what I thought.
All right, fair enough.
Question, yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, let me see. Name a Ballon d'Or winner who dropped a disaster class for their country. Messi in 2010. Messi in a few years didn't do shit for Argentina. Didn't even score a non-penalty goal in a major tournament for about like 6 years. And he won Ballon d'Ors. That's your legend, Mark. Come on, see, bro? You have to have self-awareness when you come talk to me, bro. Because that was so easy. That Messi, the guy that's won it the most times, ghosted for Argentina in plenty of big international tournaments, World Cups, Copa Americas, to the point where they added extra Copa Americas for his midget ass to win one. What are we talking about?
That's crazy. Midget?
Come on, bro. That guy is an HGH merchant. If he didn't get them shots when he was 13, he'd be shorter than what he is right now. Come on now, bro.
Someone help this.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. But we can't look at Carvajal and say the best player in the world. I don't back that one up. No, I mean, look, it's definitely going to be hard to say that a right back should win an award like that. But what I'm saying is, if international football, because that's the only thing that I think stands out, right? Rodri did play better for Spain than Vinicius played for Brazil. That's the only thing that would give Rodri the edge. So what I'm saying is, if international football is the main criteria here, then I think Danny Carvajal has just as good of an argument. That's all I'm saying. But yo, it's a lot of chats, guys. And keep getting them in there, right? Let me know what you guys thought about the Ballon d'Or. We're probably not going to even talk about this for too much longer in terms of just moving forward. Like, it's done, it's over. It's time to look at the future, right? All that I know is that I'm definitely expecting a better version of Vinicius. I still think that there's another level he can go to. Did you see the tweet that he put out there?
Really? Another version?
Another level my guy Vini can go up to. I'm telling you, he's going to shock a lot of people. Bro, here's what I'm telling you. We play Valencia on Saturday. It's a bad day to be a Valencia defender. That's all that I'm going to say, all right? The man is about to get hooked. I think this is going to be the turning point for Real Madrid season. We are now the villains. You feel me? So it's all good. All good. But, yeah, man, look, let's move on, though. Fuck him. Now, real quick, right? We can also do some El Clasico talk, right? We lost that game 4-0. Barcelona absolutely beat the shit out of Real Madrid. They dog walked us. That second half was arguably the worst 45 minutes of football that I've seen from this club since I became a fan. I think the first half, defensively, we were doing a good job. Like, they didn't create anything in that first half, right? The main complaint that I had was that Mbappe's dumbass could not stay on side. This guy Mbappe was offsides about 10 times that game. He now holds the La Liga record for most offsides in one match. Every single time we got any kind of attack or it looked like we were in on goal, it got called back because his dumbass could not stay on side.
Is that because of him or because of the defenders?
I think it's a bit of both, right? We know that Barcelona do a really good job with their offside trap. But there were times where this guy was like 2 yards ahead of the defender. And I'm like, brother, like, what are we doing here? And again, you're telling me that as a world-class player that we think Mbappe is, as a guy that we've seen tear up the Champions League, right? Become a top 10 goal scorer of all time in that competition, as a guy that was once the most valuable player in the world, you don't think he should be able to adjust? Like, you're going against a 17-year-old Kubarsi and Martinez. That's not even Barcelona's strongest back line. And they were playing a high line. They were actually disrespecting us. And it worked. This Mbappe guy, I promise you, Saturday, my head was so hot. If I would have saw Mbappe in person, I'd have slapped the shit out of him, bro. Because he was really pissing me off. Like, I could not believe what I was watching. He's not the only one, right? Vinicius dropped an absolute stinker as well. The entire midfield was shit. And I'm already Carlo out, bro. I think he doesn't, for me, I don't think there's a manager available right now that would do a better job than Carlo. Maybe tactically, yes. But when I say Carlo out, I'm saying this needs to be his last season at the club, right? I don't think they'll just sack him. He's a legend. He'll probably get like a different role within the club versus just outright being sacked. But this needs to be his last season. The game has left him. Tactically, he is naive. And he's a pussy. There's no reason that Mbappe should have played 92 minutes. No reason at all. Barcelona scored a brace, right? Lewandowski scored 2 goals in the span of 2 minutes. And we bring on Luka Modric. What the fuck are you bringing on a 40-year-old Luka Modric for in the second half when we're trying to chase a game? We're chasing Barcelona players, and you're bringing on Luka Modric. Why not bring on Arda Güler? Why not bring on Endrick? What do we have to lose? But, yeah, look, awful performance, bro. What do you guys think about that El Clasico result?
It makes me happy to see you this way. Let's have more of this. Let's never fight again, okay? Listen, man, I call the Barcelona win. I listen, pull up the clip, because I called a Barca win, and I said it, all right? But what I didn't call was how terrible you guys would play in both halves. That to me was crazy. Wow. You know, I thought that if Barca were up big, you guys wouldn't come back because they're supposedly a better team at managing games. But damn, to concede 4 goals in the second half to me is crazy. And yeah, you're right. I think that if you are a great player, as in Kylian Mbappe, who's one of my favorite players, I think that you have to have the mindset to adjust, because there's no way why you should be caught off sides for that many times, especially when you have the pace to get behind any of these defenders anyway. I don't see why you don't just hold your run a little bit longer, but neither here or there. I thought he had a couple of really good finishes, and he had a couple of terrible finishes as well too. Like not even on target. His first chance actually was not on target. It was terrible, you know. And yeah, you're right. The whole entire team didn't play up to par. Vini, as far as when you want, listen, I think that maybe I might be reaching here, maybe, but his stinker in El Clasico may have swayed the voter decision in Ballon d'Ors. I'm just saying.
That has nothing to do with
maybe. You know what I'm saying? It's a far reach, but it was a big game, and he had a stinker. That's just my
opinion. Yeah, I know. But then that would be reflected for next year's Ballon d'Or, not this one.
I know. For sure. But like, yeah, whatever. Point is that, listen, man, you guys are slapped up. and you saw the quality of Rafinha and Lamine Yamal and a great finisher in Lewandowski. And honestly, man, Barca play very dangerously. They play with a high line. They play with fire every single game, but it's working for them. And Hansi Flick ball is working to the point where it's getting them results. And to beat your rival away from home 4-0, that is a great result for me. So listen, bro, it's scary times out there for you guys to win the league because the way Barca are flying right now, I don't see them dropping any type of steam. You know, they had a one blip against Osasuna. That was a couple of weeks ago. But aside from that, man, they're playing some good football. And you guys, you have to figure out something for sure. I'm not sure if sacking Carlo is the best move in my opinion, but I will say though is that listen, something is not working out for this team, this tactics, and you guys are just losing control mentally and physically throughout the games every single time. I mean, I don't see it. You have to have a miraculous 5-2 comeback against Dortmund at home to get a victory. That's crazy. Being down 2 goals to nil against Dortmund at home, by the way, is crazy to me. So I just see a big mentality issue. Too many big name players, and right now the fit is not working. I think that's mostly because of Mbappe coming in and just not having the right system to get things done. But man, I don't know, man. It's very troubling times for you guys.
It's more so Toni Kroos leaving, right? Retiring. That's why we're struggling at the moment. And, you know, I got a comment here from Mark who says, Perez set up this current team to fail. Mbappe is not a striker. Real Madrid's team is imbalanced. Too many holes. Squad building is shit. It's on Perez. I do agree in terms of Carlos the scapegoat, as each manager usually is, because managers are easier to get rid of than a president of a club. And, you know, I think Perez, the summer window that we had was awful, right? You know, you don't get any defensive help. Right, you don't go sign a deep lying playmaker after Toni Kroos leaves, and then you just think bringing in Mbappe is going to be able to cover over the cracks that we have. I have no idea why we had a lack of signings in the summer, right? Why we did not spend any money in terms of, yes, we signed Mbappe for a signing on fee and his wages and whatnot, but we did not go to any club and buy a player. Okay, that to me is an issue, right? What I also do want to say is Mbappe being at the striker position is not the issue. Mbappe has been making good runs. Mbappe has been putting himself in good scoring positions. The issue with Mbappe is his shooting boots are missing. This guy cannot finish to save his life. Even when he gets chances on the left wing, he's missing. He gets chances on the right wing, he's missing. He's getting chances centrally, he's missing, okay? That's the problem in the attack. But for me, the biggest issue that we have is that midfield. There's no creativity. And again, it's just imbalanced. So, you know, we'll see how we adjust. And, you know, maybe this means, you know, and again, you know, like maybe like this L in El Clasico was what we needed for the club to go out there and spend money in January. All right. Like maybe that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if that's going to change anything, honestly. I really don't think so. I think that, you know, you guys are where you are right now, which is a good team still, obviously. Still have a chance to make a deep run in the Champions League. But as far as the league, I know it's still kind of early, but I don't know. I don't trust the play style unless I see some type of drastic changes in what you guys do, you know, in the coming future.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, guys. We got 2 more topics, and then we'll probably get on out of here. All right, guys? So big up to everybody that's in here. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Now, Edwin, let's talk about your team, right? Arsenal got a draw against Liverpool, right? Okay. Biggest game of the Premier League last weekend. I mean, what you saying right now, right? Give me a little Arsenal update.
Oh, that guy right there. That guy right there. He's so tough. He is tough. You know, soccer performs in the big games. I want to say that out loud. Like, soccer performs in the big games for sure. Okay. And, you know, our team, our B team, pretty much. Saka played, but no Odegaard, no Saliba. Gabriel went off in the 54th minute. Timber went off shortly. You know, up until those 2 went off, we were all over Liverpool in that first half. I mean, pressing hard, controlling the game. They didn't know what hit them, honestly. I think a lot of Liverpool fans came in, they're confident. You came in confident, thinking that they was going to just run amok of us and kill us at home, which is crazy. 2-0 to predict at home against us is crazy. I don't care who's back there. 2-0 is crazy. But it just shows you that this team still has some type of morale and some type of grit to get results. I mean, listen, no Saliba, no Odegaard, a Saka who was like maybe 70% fit. Timber, as you can see, came off. He was like 70% fit. We were still up in the game 2-1 against probably the most informed team in the Premier League right now. So I'm happy with the way the boys play. I'm kind of disappointed in like the injuries and how it cost us the game, because honestly, I believe that if Gabriel and Timber, or at least one of those two, if one of those two stayed on the pitch, we win that game. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. 2-2 is not a terrible result, but it's not the result that I was looking forward to, because I think that winning that game would have still showed everyone that, yeah, we're still here. Like, don't get us wrong. We are still here right now, but a draw is kind of disappointing to say the least, though. But I'm happy with the way they performed. And I think that because the season is long and because we're going to have an injury boost with getting some players back, Odegaard comes back hopefully in like the minimum 2 weeks, probably within the next 3 weeks, I think we have a chance to really push on and like really, really get some results going for sure, because I'm liking the way the team is just gelling together after all these injury results and us still finding ways to pick up some type of morality in it. So I'm happy, man, for sure. I couldn't understand the reason as to why people thought that Liverpool would come in here and just bun us up like that. I don't understand. Like, bro.
Well, I think Liverpool on form, right? They had the best defensive record, right? I think they were top, or they could have went top again if they win. I think, look, the biggest winner of that game is Man City, right? I mean, look, both of you guys dropping points definitely does help them. But I think if you're an Arsenal fan, it's weird because going into this game, I think a draw would have been a really good result for you guys. But seeing how the game actually played out over the course of 90 minutes, I think I got to say that you have to be disappointed with this result because you are the better team. Arsenal should have won that game. I was very surprised with how Arsenal played, to be honest with you, right? I think how you guys started off in that first half. Bukayo Saka scoring in like the first 10 minutes. This guy cooked Andy Robertson, right? I thought that Saka was injured. He looks real healthy. I think that you guys did poor with your defending from that corner to let Van Dijk score. But nonetheless, even with it being 1-1, and then you guys went up 2-1 because, Marino scored, right? You guys were the better team on the day. So I think you go up 1-0, then you go up 2-1, you're at home. I feel like if you guys really are this title-winning side that a lot of Arsenal fans want us to believe, you have to leave that game with those 3 points, regardless of the injuries, because Liverpool fans could make the same argument, right? They didn't have Alisson, their best goalkeeper, arguably the best in the Prem. They didn't have Diogo Jota either, right? So, there's an argument that Liverpool fans could have made about injuries that affected them. But I did think with the 2-11s that both teams were putting out there, I definitely thought that Liverpool had an advantage, right? And it's like you said, I predicted Liverpool to get a 2-0 because I didn't see how Arsenal were going to break them down, right? And again, giving Arsenal a set piece, free kick, corner, whatever, it's like giving them a penalty. It's like they're going to score if you give them enough. It's so crazy how good you guys are at set pieces. You definitely got to give a lot of credit to your set piece coach. But yeah, I think, look, in general, right, regardless of how the 90 minutes went, just heading into the game, if you're a Liverpool fan, you got to be pissed off right now because that was a weakened Arsenal team, right? No Saliba, right? You got Ben White in that back line. They had Thomas Partey at right back, right?
Shut Luis Diaz down.
Exactly. Luis
Diaz had him
benched.
He had Luis Diaz benched. I just hold on. People talking to me about Luis Diaz. Thomas Partey is not a right back. And he kicked his ass. Yo, don't ever talk to me about Luis Diaz again, bro. Really and truly. Don't ever talk to me about Luis Diaz. Because I know Martinelli is trash. But Luis Diaz had a chance to really exploit Partey. And he got pocketed, bro. Pocketed. All right? Listen, bro. All I'm going to say here is that if we have our full squad, which I think we definitely will, hopefully, coming into like that game against Anfield, when we go there, I feel really confident in going there with a win. Honestly, because of what my team showed 2 days ago, I feel really confident that with Saka back, Saliba back, Odegaard back, we're going to go in there and actually get it done this time around. Because the past 2 years, we sold. But this time, we're coming for it. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. We are like, people are talking to me. I'm having people chat to me, text me saying that we got into our shell and we withdrew in the second half and we let them
That's true. That's true.
But what I'm saying to that is, right,
Okay.
how are we going to play from the back with Kibior, a backup center back, Partey at right back, Lewis Skelly, who just came in for an injured Timber, right? Like, it's not the same type of players as it was before. I can see you guys saying that with Gabriel and Timber still there. But, yeah, I'm like to myself, when I'm watching the game, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, there's no way I'm taking a chance at Kibior and Ben White playing out from the back against Salah, Diaz, and Nunez when we have Gabriel and Timber who just came off the bench. Who just went to the bench, and Lewis Skelly who just got on the pitch, who's like a 17-year-old kid. It's not going to work out. And I'm not going to say that that's an excuse. But what I'm saying here is that our backups were injured. Our backups were injured in that game. So listen, bro, like I'm not really upset with the whole, like we have to play from the counter attack, because when you have that player personnel, you're gonna do that.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, right? So big up to everybody that's in here, right? And shout out to Lamb. Is that Lamb? Lambed? What the fuck? Yo, do you know how, like, if it's land, it's Land? How the hell you say Lamd? Lamb? Like, what the fuck? Now look, big up my yo, big up my guy. I try to pronounce that shit. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't even know how to do it. But yo, so Van Lee says the Arteta project is getting stale. You agree with that?
I agree.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Mark also had a comment here that said, if Saka performs in big games, where's the trophy? He's asking the important questions. Yo, Edwin, I'm not gonna lie, you getting full court pressed right now.
And I'm answering all the questions.
Go ahead.
I'm answering all the questions. I mean, the trophy itself, like, Saka's not at that level yet where he can like carry a team. I mean, obviously, I've made arguments in the past where like he was carrying the team at a young age, but really and truly, like that team wasn't going anywhere. We're talking about a player that can like pick what Vinicius did with Real Madrid the other day against Dortmund. Like that's a performance of carrying the team. Saka has had performances where he has done that in the past, but consistently doing that, I don't think that he could do that right now. But we don't need him to do that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, he's going to perform in some big games, but overall, that's a team achievement. That's not can Saka carry us to the title? Like, no, we need other players to come in and step in and help him out there. So, listen, man, I think that Saka being here will help us win the trophy for sure.
All right, fair enough. Mark also says Asna. What? Nah, right?
Can you read the question?
Hey, bro, read it, bro.
Can you read the question?
Read it.
You stopped. You started and you
read
stopped.
It, bro. Read it.
You started and you
read
stopped.
It.
I'm not doing that.
Yo,
bro. Allow it. Allow it.
He said Arsenal is just another team that replaced Liverpool in being Man City's side chick. Asna, it's crazy.
Wait, but you've never heard that joke before? What the heck? Oh, he said I am D money, not lambed money.
Oh, is that an I?
Well,
I thought that was like an L. Yo, big up the chat, man. Oh, okay. I am D money. All right. Yo, big up to my guy. I am, bro. But the thing about it though, if something was spelled Lamd, like how would you even pronounce that, man?
Lambed.
Oh my gosh. Now look, big up, man. Big up. Now that's funny. All right, yo, guys. I think that we'll end it here. Man. Dope stream, man. Oh my goodness me. Yo, my stomach. That's funny as hell, bro. But big up to everybody that's in here, right? W stream as usual. W chat as always, right? Big up to my guy Edwin, right, for coming through and getting cooked again. You know what I'm saying? Bro.
You got cooked today.
Me.
Again, as usual.
Brother, I've never lost an argument a day in my life.
Big smack on Friday talking about some. I think we'll win 3-2. Yeah, you didn't see that ass whooping coming.
All right, bro.
You didn't see that ass whooping coming. I'm about to smack that ass.
All right, bro.
Yo, come on now.
All right, man. Look, bro.
Yeah,
Don't go
man.
feeling the vibes, man. Don't
You
go
a
feeling the
2K
vibes.
player. Say that L. Hold that L, fam. Hold that L in it.
All right, last question, and then we'll get out of here, bro. 2K player says, which trophies do you see Arsenal winning this season?
Carabao Cup for sure. Premier League title.
Okay. Wait, what? Okay, so Carabao and the Prem.
Yeah.
That's your expectations?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And then, actually, because we laughed at your name, I'm big up to my guy. I am D-Money, okay? Not Lamb Money. Big up, bro. He says, Edwin, do you believe Arteta is legit a big cup manager?
I don't know what the term is a big cup manager, because if you're going to call Ten Hag one, then sure, but that led him to be fired. I think that with what Arteta is doing right now, it'll lead to more trophies. So if that answers the questions, yeah.
All right,
He will become
fair enough.
a big cup manager, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Yo, big up to the damn chat every single time. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications on your way out. Quick update. We will be back tomorrow, right? I'm sure that I'm gonna probably do a Madrid hype in the morning, but we will 100% be doing a watch along for the Carabao Cup tomorrow. We got Tottenham versus Man City, right? So you guys don't want to miss that watch along. Should be dope. Make sure that you guys come back to watch that game with me right here on the channel. And again, as I said, shout out to my guy Eddie for always making time to come on to the channel. On Instagram at Eddie.A.D. Make sure you let him know on IG how bad he got cooked today. And we'll be back Friday. We'll be back with the next rival talk. And yeah, we'll look at some of the games that are going to happen this weekend. But yeah, man, big up as always, bro. Edwin, you got anything that you want to say before we end it?
Big up the chat as usual, man. You guys keep on tapping in, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right, guys. Peace.